Hi students, this is Ram Mohan, JLN History, Government Junior College, Kachiguda. Today, our topic, Shatavana's Administration. In previous class, we completed the political history of Shatavahanas, and today we are going to learn the Shatavana's administration, economy, society, religion, language, art and architecture. The age of Shatavahanas already, their period, their political history. The Shatavahana kings enjoyed supreme authority over their provinces and their administration on the lines of Mauryan administration. And they followed Mauryan's administration, and their throne was hereditary. And even they conducted royal tours to know about the public grievances, their problems, their wishes and desires. The Mauryan administration completely based upon supremacy over their provinces. Like that, also, Shatavahanas also continued their legacy. Most important, the Rajamatyas. Rajamatyas means here they were appointed to look after the kingdom in absence of their sons or husband or father. After that, the Mahamatra, Bandagarika, Mahasenapati, Nibandakara and Lekaka. These also important officials after Amatyas and royal family and Mahabhoja and Mahapatra. These important officials have great portfolios like the Mahamatra in charge of religious affairs, and Bandagarika, he was the superintendent of royal stores, and the Mahasenapati, commander of forces, and Nibandakara, he also superintendent of stores, and one more, Lekaka, registering a document. The Shatavahanas divided their kingdom into Rashtra's and Aharas. The Rashtra's were governed by the princes of royal blood. Aharas were maintained by Amatyas. The kings were subordinated chieftains like Maharati and Mahabhoja, and these people were exercised extensive powers, and they did not answer to even kings also. That much power they exercised, and even they granted villages, lands to their wishes, their subjects. But coming into Amatyas, they did not exercise the excessive powers like Maharati and Mahabhoja. Kingdom, Rashtra and Ahara. Then the basic unit of Shatavahana society was village. This village was headed by Gramani. Gramani look after the village matters, and afterwards the important towns in Shatavahana dynasty, they were Sopara, Broch, Kaniheri, Paitan, Kotilingala. These towns were administered by Nigama Sabha, like present assembly. This Nigama Sabha role is to develop the towns. In Nigama Sabha assembly, meeting of the people, the common people also voiced their questions regarding the development of the important towns. Now moving into economy. Shatavahana's economy completely based upon agriculture, industry and trade. Rajaketa. The meaning of Rajaketa here, king private land. For the purpose of private expenditure, some lands were allocated for king. These lands are called here Rajaketa. Next one, Gulmaka. The subordinate chief's land was called as Gulmaka. The first one is Rajaketa. Second one is Gulmaka. This land is called subordinate chief's land. Means Maharati, Mahabhoja. Their lands are called here Gulmaka. Next important, Udayantrakas. Udayantrakas means here guild of wage workers. Guild means group like Sreni. Wage workers group is called here guilds. These Udayantrakas also worked as take water from wells and tanks. These are the missions which worked as take water from tanks and wells. And the Shatavahanas collected here the tax as land revenue here 1/6. There are different professions, not only agriculture, in industry and trade, you see different professions occupied by the people. The names are here. Kularikas means potters, Tilapisakas, oil pressures, Danikas, corn dealers, and Vasakaras, bamboo workers. Okay, these are the important professions in Shatavahana's economy. And guild, already you know, the guild is nothing but Sreni. Guild is formed as Sreni by different workers. Each profession formed into a guild. These guilds are worked as banks. Present day bank activities, you know, same activities are controlled by guilds in Shatavahana's rule. And these guilds also are deposited, means cash deposited, they took from the people, and the income also they can do expenditure in different levels on different sectors also. The important merchants here, rich merchants, are occupied in different places. Keburava, Vijayapura, Kudura, Danyakataka. These are the important places for rich merchants. Dhulikatta, Pedabankur, Kondapur, Kotilingala, and these are the big market towns in western borders. So why western borders are most important towns? Because the external trade taken place from western coast only, the Broach, Sopara, because of due to these options of eastern coast, the western coast occupied here major place. The extensive external trade taken place, especially in Agnesri Shatakarni period. That's what they occupied a special place. Broach is main seaport, and the coins are here Karshapana, which is silver coin, and Suvarna, which is gold coin. The trade commonly taken place in internal, of course, the bullock carts were used here. For external, boats and caravans were used extensively. Okay. This is the economy of Shatavahanas. Moving to society. The Shatavahana society. The Shatavahana society was divided into 4 sections. The first class, Mahadevapati, Mahabhoja, Maharadhika. These people occupied special place and first place in the Shatavahana society. Second class in the Shatavahana society, Amatya, Mahapatras and Sreshti. Moving to third class, doctors, learned professions, farmers and goldsmiths. Now last one, the last class in Shatavahana dynasty was carpenters, weavers and blacksmiths. Of course, it consists of here Halikas also, like carpenters, Sethis, merchants and Gandhikas, druggists and Vadakis. They are called carpenters, and Kamaras, iron workers and Tilapiskas, oil pressures. These professions also included in 4th class. Of course, you have a doubt. Actually, society means it consists of 4 castes like Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. That is the caste-wise sections. This was the society. The society 4 sections in financial and occupation wise. That's what first class includes here. Higher officials like Mahadevapati, Mahabhoja and Maharadhika. The second class, Amatya, Mahapatra and Sreshti. And third class, doctors, learned professions, farmers and goldsmiths. And 4th class, carpenters, weavers, blacksmiths and cultivators, druggists. Okay, these people are included in 4th class. Coming into the basic unit family, of course, Grahapati, the head of the family. The eldest male member in a family is called Grahapati. The Grahapati, absolutely, he had more powers compared to other members in family. Shatavahana society based on patriarchal society, even though the metronymics, the matriarchal system also, they proceeded. The family members, names appears on Nanagarh inscription and Nanagarh caves also. It represented here. The female members also occupied major place in Shatavahana society. That's what Gautami Putra Shatakarni, Vasishta Putra Pulomavi. This indicates here the female, the queens, the royal queens here occupied a significant place in Shatavahana society. That is called metronymics. On the coins, on inscriptions, you can see their names, their titles also. In society, women occupied honorable place. Even widows also respected in Shatavahana society. Actually, this was very free from narrow attitudes, because in modern society also, some extent, we can see there is a humiliation, especially widows, even women also. But coming into the Shatavahana society, the women occupied honorable place, good place. Even widows also respected. That's what Gautami Balasri occupied the place of Rajamatya. This was the example of how Shatavahanas respected the female members. Their activities, you see, music, dance, dice playing and cock and ram fights. These are the entertainments for Shatavahanas society. And coming into the musical instruments also, we can found Veena, Mridangam, Venu, Pataha and Sankhya. These metals and instruments also we can find, okay, the names in different inscriptions and different literary sources. Moving to the religion of Shatavahanas. Shatavahanas religion Different religions occupied in Shatavahana kingdom. Of course, Brahmanism, the Hinduism made great progress. Of course, it follows Buddhism and Jainism also. There are three important religions: Brahmanism, Buddhism, and Jainism. In Brahmanism, almost all kings performed here Vedic sacrifices, especially first Shatakarni, second Shatakarni, Gautami Putra Shatakarni also performed here different Vedic sacrifices like Ashwamedha Yaga, Rajasuya Yaga. Okay, this indicates here how they are encouraging the Brahmanism and Vedic sacrifices also. And offering and donating rich gifts to Brahmins also one of the features of Hindu religion. And Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Purusharthas also given priority in Shatavahana religion, especially in Hindu society. Moving to the next religion, Jainism and Buddhism. Jainism could not make a way, but Buddhism received here a strong foothold in Telangana. There are great examples in present day also. You see Amaravati, Nagarjunakonda, Kotilingala, Pedabankur, Fanigiri, Dulikatta. Still, it shows, it exhibits different monuments, different stupas, different chaityas, okay, to exhibit their religion and how they are promoting, how they are encouraging the Buddhism. Especially Nagarjunakonda, which was dedicated to Acharya Nagarjuna in the rule of Yajnasri Shatakarni. At the time, Mahayana Buddhism was flourished like anything. And Panigiri, Kotilingala, Pedabankur, Dhulikatta, here also great stupas were built by Shatavahanas and their subordinates. Among all, Panigiri stupa was very beautiful. It has a different types of pillars, marble stones. Okay, it indicates here the great patronage of Buddhism. How they supported Buddhism, it indicating. Moving to language and literature. Shatavahana followed here Brahmi script and their language was Prakrit language, not Sanskrit. Shatavahanas followed here Prakrit language and script is Brahmi script. So script means here the style of writing. So their style is Brahmi style and their language was Prakrit language. In Prakrit language, number of scripts were available. So it gives sound sources for their literary progress, especially Gunadja, who hailed from Medak district in Telangana. He was the first poet in Telangana who wrote here Bruhat Katha. So Gunadja wrote Bruhat Katha. So this story indicates a great story of Shatavahanas. Bruhat Katha, a great story book. So he belongs to Medak district and he was the first Telangana poet, first poet in Telangana, Gunadja. So this book was written completely Paishachik Prakrit. So the language cannot be studied by the common people. So only the devils only can understand the language. That much words they used here, they inculcated. Moving to next important book in literature, Gatha Saptashyati. Already I mentioned this while learning about Hala. He was the 17th ruler who composed here 700 stories in one book. The book name was Gatha Saptashyati. So 700 stories it shows. One more important, Kutuhala. He also wrote Leelavati Parinayam. Kutuhala wrote Leelavati Parinayam. And afterwards, Acharya Nagarjuna. So we know he was a great saint, great monk of Buddhism, especially Mahayana Buddhism. He supported, he encouraged, he promoted, he expanded the Buddhism in several areas of Telangana. He wrote number of books, Madhyamika Shastra, Prajna Paramita Shastra, Sruhalleka, Ratnavali. These are the important books of Acharya Nagarjuna, who resided in Sri Parvata. So, in the honor of Acharya Nagarjuna, Yagnasri Shatakarni built a beautiful stupa in Sri Parvata. Still, we can see the remains of this stupa in Nagarjuna Konda. Art and architecture. Look at the screen. You can find out here beautiful stupa, how it is in time of Shatavahanas. The stupa, which is in round shape, and pillars are there. One umbrella also you can see. Okay. This is the art and architecture of Shatavahanas. They built different monuments, and these are primarily Buddhist monuments. There was no monuments belonging to Jainism and Brahminism. Majority monuments belong to only Buddhism. So primarily the Buddhist monuments only we can find in different areas of Telangana, especially Kotilingala, Nagarjunakonda, Amaravati, Dhulikatta, Pedabankur, Panigiri. So all stupas are in the model of Sanchi Stupa, which was constructed by Ashoka. So how Sanchi Stupa is it? Same stupa, same style of architecture we can find in Telangana stupas also. All stupas are the style of Sanchi Stupa. And not only stupas, Chaityas and Viharas also, Shatavahana rulers and their family members and their subordinates built across the Telangana region. The stupas built upon the remains of Buddhist monks. The stupas are constructed here, the remains of Buddhist monks on their burial ground, on their ashes. Okay, these stupas, the places of worship, the places of worship. Of course, we can call the graveyards also. Anyhow, but it is like a place of worship in Buddhism. Moving to Chaitya. Chaityas are considered or called here the temples, like Hinduism, how temple it is. Same style of architecture we can find in Chaityas. The temple in Buddhism is called Chaityas. Viharas are called rest place of the saints. Buddhist saints rest place are called here Viharas. There are three: stupas, Chaityas, Viharas. Stupas are the burial ground, the burial remains of the Buddhist monks. It also place of worship. And moving to next one, Chaityas are temples of Buddhism, and Viharas the rest place of Buddhist monks. These Viharas very near to Chaityas and stupas, and almost all stupas in Buddhism in Telangana have ayaka pillars, brick walls, and all marble prakaras and marble slabs. We can find the peculiar features of Buddhism on all stupas, especially the Jataka tales also represented on pillars on stupas of Telangana. Not only monuments, not only art and architecture, even their painting also. You can see their painting on Ajanta and Ajanta caves, especially 9th and 10th caves of Ajanta shows here how Shatavahana rulers patronized here the art of painting. Especially the painting reveals here the anatomy system, and the color combination, the depth, length, everything we can see in 9th and 10th caves of Ajanta. The Jataka tales also represented in different paintings in Shatavana's time. So their art and architecture also we can see in different stupas, viharas and chaityas. All stupas located in Telangana, especially Kotilingala, Fanigiri, Dhulikatta, Pedabankur. These all stupas in Karimnagar district only we can find. So these stupas showing the greatest patronage of Buddhism and Buddhism religion and their art and architecture also. So this is the map of Shatavana dynasty. You can see which is in green color, which is rounded by circle here, that is Shatavana Empire. The Shatavana Empire started from 278 BC to 271 BC to 178 CE. In this 450 years of rule, they ruled not only Telangana and Andhra, the provinces of Western Malwa region, Madhya Pradesh, UP, Maharashtra, Karnataka also. So this map shows here how the Shatavahanas expanded their kingdom from south to north. Actually, up to Vindhya regions, first they extended their empire. After the great achievements of Gautami Putra Shatakarni, their empire extended up to Gangetic Valley. So this was the great story of Shatavahanas political history and as well as their administration. It shows here their extension of empire and their great administration.